Looking back, just gone 8 o'clock, the Constitutional Court will rule this morning on whether Cash Paymaster Services should continue paying social grants or not. Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini had until the end of this month to find a new provider, but failed to do so. The ConCourt ruled in 2014 that the tender won by CPS was illegal. Black Sash wants the court to take oversight of a new contract, which needs to be settled urgently if April's payments are to be made on time. For more on this, let's cross over to our reporter, Aldrin Sampear. He's live at the Constitutional Court at the moment. Aldrin, proceedings set to begin at 10 o'clock. What could be the political and social implications if grant payments are not made at the end of this month?
Well, let's first start with the social implications, considering that there is 11 million beneficiaries that depend on the social grant. And you know, yesterday I was speaking to a colleague, and the way he explained it was so riveting that it hit home. And he was saying that although there are 11 million beneficiaries who receive these social grants, and obviously there are 17 million social grants that are being issued, there are many others who are affected but there are many others who will be affected if the social grant payments is delayed, considering that you have, for instance, the elderly who would be supporting an entire family on the social grant that they will be receiving. On Wednesday as well, when we're speaking to some of the protesters and demonstrators outside the court, they were speaking about how some people are on treatment and the patients who are on treatment, and they will need the food. And even if you consider at some venues where social grants are being issued, you have these small businesses, informal businesses, and those are people who benefit from the social grants being issued. When I spoke to Sash, the CPS director, about the implications as well, and he said that as it stands at the moment, chances are that the social grants will only be paid on the 2nd or probably even the 3rd because there is no grant in place, and rather there's no contract in place. So we'll have to wait and see what happens when the Constitutional Court hands down the judgment and speaks about what happens forward with regards to the social grants. On the political side as well, there are major political implications of this. When I spoke to the ANC spokesperson, Zizi Kodwa, as even before the court concluded its session, the hearings that were taking place, he spoke about what they called consequence management. And although I tried to press him on exactly what consequence management means, he didn't want to go as far as saying that Bathabile Dlamini, the Minister of Social Development, should be held accountable. He kept on emphasizing that there should be an investigation into exactly what happened, and that's something that was emphasized as well by the Minister in the Presidency after the cabinet briefing. And the question also at Cabinet was whether the issue was raised that the Minister should be held accountable, and he mentioned that the issue wasn't raised. We saw what happened in Parliament yesterday, where President Jacob Zuma faced questions, a plethora of questions from opposition party members who are asking that there be an inquiry, and the President was saying you can't blame the Minister at this point because the 1st of April has not arrived, and the payment has not been missed. The deadline to make the payment has not been missed. But some people are arguing that what the President fails to understand is that the question is not so much around whether the grant beneficiaries will get the money, but the question is more around the legality, that you have a Constitutional Court that finds itself in a place where it'll have to probably extend an invalid contract that they already found back in 2013 and in 2014 to be illegal. And it is because of the failure of the Minister of Social Development to provide political oversight with regards to this thing. And the other thing that we need to realize is that the core constituency of the ANC are these people, are these social grant beneficiaries. Someone else was even saying that during the elections last year, she was speaking to her grandmother, and she was saying to her grandmother, would you vote for the DA? And she said, no, I'll vote for Jacob Zuma, I'll vote for the ANC because they give me the social grant. And that's the mindset that some people have. And there are major, of course, political implications with regards to this. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out within the ANC, and obviously if it'll have any effect on a cabinet reshuffle or possible cabinet reshuffle.
All right. right, we'll have to leave it there. That's a big story for today. Aldrin Sampear live at the Constitutional Court. That should be starting at 10 o'clock this morning. I imagine it's quite a lengthy judgment that will be handed down, so do stay tuned. We will, of course, take that live on SABC News. President Jacob Zuma has meanwhile declined